Zal, the white-haired legend of Persia. Zal was a warrior with hair as white as the moon, eyes as sharp as an eagle's, and a body forged of iron and will. Not only was he unmatched in battle, but he also possessed profound wisdom. He spoke the language of birds, knew the secrets of healing with herbs, and could foresee the future. These abilities were taught to him by the Simurgh, the mythical and wise bird of the mountains. Long ago, the wind screamed like a tortured soul around the stone walls of Sam's fortress. Torches flickered wildly in their iron brackets, casting dancing shadows that seemed to whisper of coming misfortune. Sam, the mighty warrior champion of Persia, paced the cold stone floors, his heavy boots echoing through the corridors. His wife Rudaba cried out in labor from the chamber above, but each scream seemed to carry more pain than should accompany a birth. Old Zara, the most experienced midwife in Sistan, muttered prayers to the gods as she prepared her herbs. "This is no ordinary birth. The stars are misaligned tonight. I feel it in my bones," she told her assistant. Outside, lightning tore across the sky, briefly illuminating the fearful faces of the guards standing watch. The air itself felt heavy, charged with some unknown power waiting to be unleashed. When the child finally emerged into the world, the room fell into complete silence. The baby didn't cry like normal infants, but instead looked around with alert, silver-colored eyes that seemed to see everything. But most shocking of all was his hair, a full head of hair as white as fresh mountain snow, glowing almost unnaturally in the dim light. The junior midwife gasped and dropped her basin of water. "By the gods! He's an old man," she cried, making the sign against evil. Zara, her hands trembling slightly, cleaned the infant carefully. "I've delivered hundreds of babies," she whispered, "but never one like this. His hair, it's like moonlight given form." When Sam entered the chamber, his face transformed from concern to horror. "What magic is this?" he demanded, staring at the white-haired child. "This is no normal son of mine." For 3 days, Sam consulted with his advisors. The priests argued fiercely about the meaning of the child's appearance. "He's clearly marked by Ahriman," cried Mobad, the high priest. "The dark god has claimed him as his own. He'll bring ruin to all of Sistan," but others were more cautious. "Perhaps he's blessed by the gods," argued Farhad, Sam's trusted friend. His eyes hold ancient wisdom. "This might be a gift, not a curse." Torn between fear and duty, Sam spent a sleepless night watching the child. The baby never cried, only watched him with those strange silver eyes that seemed to understand everything. Finally, fear for his kingdom won over a father's love. Under cover of darkness, Sam wrapped his son in the finest silk and rode toward Mount Damavand. The storm had renewed its fury, as if nature itself protested what he was about to do. Rain lashed at his face, mixing with the tears he wouldn't admit were falling. "I'm sorry, my son," he whispered when he reached the sacred mountain. "Better that one life ends than a kingdom falls." He placed the bundle gently between two ancient rocks, protecting it from the worst of the wind. As he rode away, he heard the hungry howl of wolves approaching and nearly turned back. But duty hardened his heart, and he continued into the stormy night. The wolves were drawing closer, their yellow eyes glowing in the darkness, when a great shadow blotted out the moon. The Simurgh, the legendary bird of Persian myths, descended from the sky. Her bronze feathers shimmered with some inner light, and her eyes glowed with ancient wisdom. She scattered the wolves with a single beat of her massive wings and gently picked up the crying infant. "Hush, little one," she cooed in a voice like mountain streams. "The world fears what it doesn't understand, but I see your true nature." With incredible care, she carried him to her nest high on the mountain peak, where the air was thin and the stars seemed close enough to touch. The Simurgh's nest was a wonder to behold, woven from precious metals and rare woods, lined with silks from forgotten kingdoms. Here she raised Zal, feeding him special foods that granted wisdom and strength, golden berries that grew only where moonlight touched the snow, crystal clear water from hidden mountain springs. Honey from bees that nested in sacred caves. She taught him the language of eagles and the poetry of nightingales. She showed him how to read the stars and understand the whispers of the wind. Most importantly, She taught him that his white hair wasn't a curse, but a mark of special destiny. Those who are different, she would tell him, often have the greatest gifts to offer the world. When Zal had grown into a strong, wise young man, the Simurgh knew it was time for him to return to the world of humans. She gave him one of her golden feathers, which shimmered with all the colors of dawn. "Keep this safe," she told him. "When you face your darkest hour, burn this feather and I will come to your aid." Though sad to leave his magical home, Zal knew his destiny lay below. He descended from the mountains, his white hair flowing behind him like a banner of hope, ready to face the world that had once rejected him. And so began the story of Zal, who would grow to become a great hero and eventually father the most famous Persian hero of all, the mighty Rostam. Enjoyed this? Subscribe for more.